faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head high. 'Cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Whoa, whoa. The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking. Sometimes may not be down, but no, I'm not breaking. I'm not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most. Yeah, I gotta keep going, and I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. 'Cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Whoa, whoa. Come on, keep moving, keep climbing, keep the faith, baby. It's the climb. Whoa, whoa. Don't know why I didn't come. Don't know why I didn't come. When I saw the break of day, wish that I could fly.
Stop! You know that Jethro Paul is a disgrace? Did you know that this girl could sing like that? Miss Bonnie request with 100. I mean, she might be $100. You did have more money. You think you will love start things that you can't back it up. Me say them said for wind up, wheel up, and come again. Come again.
whoa. Whoa, na na na, yeah, 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 na na na, whoa, na na na, yeah, 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 don't know much about history. Na na na, yeah. Na na na, whoa. Don't know much about history. Don't know much about biology. Don't know much about science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Na na na, whoa. Na na na, yeah, yeah, yeah. Na na na, whoa. Na na na, yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't know much about geography. Don't know much trigonometry. Don't know much about algebra. Don't know what a slide rule is for. But I do know 1 and 1 is 2. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Na na na, whoa, eh, eh, na na na, yeah, yeah, yeah. Na na na, whoa. Na na na, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be. Or maybe by being an A student, baby, I can win your love for me. Don't know much about history. Don't know much about biology. Don't know much about science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Na na na, whoa, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Na na na, oh, yeah, yeah.
Coming to us now, we have a vote of dance and it will be done by Miss Shauna Scott. Can you clap her, please? People, have some decency about you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I've been a good audience. I want to thank everybody for coming. And I want to say a big thanks for all the staff who had a part in the planning of this Child Month concert. And I want to thank the teachers and the parents that took the time out to bring the children here. Can everybody give yourself a round of applause, please? Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Jana Bent. I'm the project director for Reggae Picnic Limited here in Kingston, Jamaica. It's a new children's edutainment product company. And the first book in our series is actually a CD and storybook that comes in this handy carrying case. The book is called Shaggy Parrot and the Reggae Band. And the main character is played by our very own Shaggy. Music is also done by musicians from Sean Paul's band, and the story, the CD has the narration and reggae songs, about 9 different songs, plus a music instrument tutorial at the very end, because the story teaches the sounds of different musical instruments. It also teaches an environmental message of not polluting the rivers and waters of Jamaica. And the book has been added to the early childhood curriculum resource list because of the different educational themes that are featured in the book. And it has also just won the 2009 seal of approval from the National Parenting Center of America, which is the world's largest parenting advocacy group, and they test products that are made for children by manufacturers all over the world, including Disney. Disney sends their things to this parenting center for evaluation and approval, and so we're very proud to have won this seal of approval from them.
I'm Rebecca Packer, and I co-wrote the Shaggy Parrot and the Reggae Band series. We hope to come out with a series of books, but this is the first of the series. And I also represented Shaggy and his interest in the book. We got involved with Jana early on when she approached Shaggy about the book, and because it involved music and in the environment, well, we expanded on the environment. Shaggy was very interested, and we tried to find a way where we could incorporate it into Jamaica, and Shaggy wanted to put all of his proceeds towards the Bustamante Children's Hospital. So all of his proceeds from the book will go towards the Bustamante Children's Hospital. So that's his contribution towards the book. The book deals with the environment, which is a very big concern of ours and of Shaggy's. And so in the series to come, we will deal with other issues of the environment, this one being garbage, and we will deal with plastic bottles, plastic bags, the turtles, and other concerns that affect us. We start with the kids because the kids are where the future is. So hope you enjoy the book.
Now we're going to have a set of readings, right? And before we get into the readings, everybody who is in here has to sign a contract to say that they are willing to listen to the stories. All right? Now the contract is simple. You don't need no pen, you don't need no paper. I'm going to say one word, you're going to say another, and when I say my word, I'm telling you I'm ready to tell you a story. And then when you say your word, you say you're ready to listen. And once we sign the contract, it means everybody listens. Everybody understand? Yeah. All right, brilliant. So it's simple. So when I say crick, you say crack. Crick, crack. Crick, crack. Crick, crack. All right, so that means everybody knows it's story time and everybody's ready to listen. So now we're going to start off while the steel pan is setting up. We're going to play you some music from a book and CD collection called Shaggy Parrot and the Reggae Band. Right? Now the story is written by Jana Bent, and you have the CD has narration and reggae songs on it, and the main character is played by Shaggy. Anybody knows of Shaggy? Yeah. All right. So right now that is what we're going to play. So you're going to listen and enjoy. All right?
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? I don't hear anything. Good afternoon. My name is Jana Bent, and I just wanted to make one correction. She said it was written by me, but it's not just me. It's written by 6 different people. Myself and Miss Rebecca Packer over here. Give her a hand. And Miss Kelly Magnus. Where is Kelly? Kelly over there. Kelly Magnus. Give her a hand, please. All right. It's also written by Dr. Veronica Salter, Miss Nicole Hufat, and my brother Rupert Bent. Okay, so now we're going to start what we have here. This is a handy little carrying case. And inside the carrying case is the book. Inside the book, CD, right. So we're going to ask our sound man to play the CD, and Rebecca and I will walk around and show you the pictures because it's kind of hard for you to see from if you're standing up here, okay? All right, ready? Are you ready? Say yes! All right. Okay.
And when you hear this sound, it's time to turn the page.
Hi, my name is Shaggy Parrot, and I'm a DJ. I chant the reggae music, which comes from my own home, Jamaica. I bet you can chant just like me. I can chant far. Do you want to play my reggae band? 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 Sure! And I can chant it really slow.
Is there someone who can play a little louder, please? Okay,
In the
that's
center of Jamaica, there is a pretty waterfall. It sounds like children laughing. Do you know what it is called? Laughing Waters.
My friend Laughing Waters is feeling very, very sad.
Today Laughing Waters is feeling sad. The water is polluted with all kinds and all drugs. But Shaggy Parrot is making a plan. He will call his friends to join a reggae band.
Laughing Waters, don't worry. We'll have you laughing again. Reggae music you need from all of your friends.
Big T back. easy to use the garbage bin. Guess what they throw the garbage in?
Yeah, man, waterfall, no worry yourself. I'll call 10 friends. No, not 12. We'll start a band, have a sweet reggae party. Reggae bars make you happy. You soon feel irate. Yeah. Trade start when you come to the funny song. Would you like to play my reggae band? Yeah. Yes, my brother. That's right. Wow. Here's Barracuda, link it on the song. Would you like to play my reggae band? Here's Barracuda, play, right now.
Shrimpy the shrimp says, but Shaggy Parrot says,
No way, nobody knows what a shrimp is. Yes, my brother. That's right. Wow.
Rougher, C-sharp, and clever C-carrot. Blow the horns to sound wicked like that.
The rhythm on your one. Yeah. Rougher, C-sharp, and the one C-cat. Just a blow, make the hands sound wicked like that. And the saxophone C-sharp. See us? Let me hear the trumpet. Let's open the trombone. All I need is some sweet harmonies, yo, swiftly. Stop ready. I'll sing on the DJ.
Now I know so we can bring the rhythm back here. Stingray and rubber lobster. Sing harmony sounding sweeter and sweeter. You wanna play in the reggae band? Yes. 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 You wanna play in the reggae band?
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes. Now, I am not sure how many of you right now want to hear a story, right? Does anybody want to hear a story? Yes. What kind of story you want to hear? All kind of stories, right? All kind of stories. Well, let me tell you what. This is a book that is called A Baker's Dozen. And A Baker's Dozen is more than just 13 stories. This book was supposed to be a dozen stories, and one was thrown in as bonus or Or what's the Jamaican word for brata? So you get one brata. So it's 12 stories and brata, okay? So that is what a baker's dozen is. Now, I'm gonna read a story called The Rabbit Man. Ladies and gentlemen in here, but I can't hear myself. I can't hear myself. Usually when you listen to a story, your body's supposed to listen. I'm hearing all kinds of talking. Alright. Now I want to know, this story is going to be called The Rabbit Man. Does anybody know what a rabbit man is? What's a rabbit man? A rabbit, that is a man? A man that's a rabbit? A man that dresses like a rabbit. Oh, well guess what? I think all of you are perhaps right. Who is my mother. Okay. The Rabbit Man by Pam Gordon Hickling. A special treat was in store for Dorcetta and her cousin. They had been as good as gold during the holidays, and Dorcetta's mother promised them a big surprise. They were being taken into the mountains to see the Rabbit Man. They had no idea what a Rabbit Man looked like. Does he have pointy ears and spiky whiskers? Giggled Dorcetta. Or a fluffy tail. Of course not, said Chipaloo, the boy the eldest, who thought he knew everything. He eats carrots and loves carrot juice, and that's why he is the Rabbit Man. The children were really excited. They chatted all this way up the mountains. On the road, they passed a man who carefully was balancing a huge palm plant on his head. They waved as if they passed, and to his amusement, he nearly dropped the palm as he waved back at all of them. They turned off the side of the road and then turned the corner. What a lovely view! It's like being on an airplane, chirped Chickaloo. The road grew narrower and narrower, and soon they were high up in the mountains, and the roads were bumpy, and the children were chatting breathlessly, bumping around in the back seats of the car. The road was now very narrow, and the sharps were so sharp that their mother stopped the rickety old car in a jerk. This could never be the right road, she said. There's nobody around to ask. Anyway, let's turn left. And she chucked the car into motion and turned up the track. The children were silent for the first time. They held their breath because the ground fell away sharply, and they felt as though they were going to topple off the cliff. At last, just when it seemed as if the road could get no narrower or bumpier, they saw a lady catching water at a standpipe, and they asked her if they were on the right road to the Rabbit Man. Yes, she replied in a friendly road. Just follow the road till you pass a tree stump on the right-hand side. But mind the tree stump, you know, because mind the tree root on your car door, because you need to ride over it, or else you're going to drop into a ducky gully. And they go straight up the street till you hit across by the hillside. Drive into the mountain, and when you reach the bamboo fence, call out, because that is when you reach, you know, so you reach. Keep straight and you can't go wrong. Although Dorcetta's mother was a little confused, she thanked her very nicely and drove on again. The children waved at everybody they saw on the countryside. One little boy had to squeeze past the car and lift his water bucket high over his head to pass. At last, perched on the top of the hillside, facing a deep valley, they saw some beautiful little houses, all painted in bright colors of red and yellow and green and blue, all huddled together on the hillside. Oh, said Elton, it looks like a painting we saw by Capo. All of those houses had red roofs, just like those on the hillside. The Rabbit Man children seen. The children smiled when they realized that the rabbit man was a man that kept rabbits. The rabbit man, whose name was Mr. Fox, walked towards them with a very welcoming and happy grin. We don't get many visitors, he explained. That is why they want so. And you brought your children to see the rabbits. It's quite a journey, isn't it? Up the hill, but it is beautiful. They took the children by the hand and walked them down the steep slope to the rabbit hutches. There were rabbits of every color, brown and white, gray and black, some with powder puff tails, some without tails, some with all kinds of tails, it seemed. But some of them had bright round eyes, and others had twitchy noses. Some were shy, and some others hopped around with these. The children were so excited, especially when each was allowed to hold a baby bunny. Chicken Bunny snuggled up to Dorsetter's, but Dorsetter's bunny was very, very frisky. He clung to her dress and scratched her arm, and she dropped him immediately. Nobody could catch the rabbit. Not everybody was hopping around and chasing the rabbit. He hopped so fast that he frightened the chicken who dropped his body and accidentally bounced open the door of the hutch. Guess what? All of a sudden, all the bunnies escaped all around the place. There were bunnies everywhere. They frightened the rooster who flew over the goose and landed on the cow's back. Cherry the cow got loose and ran through the opening into the house. There were children and bunnies everywhere. Mrs. Fox, who was in the house grating coconuts, heard all the excitement. But with all of her sons, all of that noise was nothing new. The sight of the cow in her kitchen was something else altogether. She leapt from her stool in fright, spitting the grated coconut all over the floor. The cow chased her through the kitchen and onto the veranda, knocking over everything in her path and letting out these loud moos, which echoed through the house and frightened her even more. Mrs. Fox grabbed the first thing she could find and climbed up on it, not realizing that it was a veranda pole and it hung over the deep valley. Cherry the cow stopped abruptly because there was nowhere else for Cherry to run. She could not turn back because women never knew that cows can't turn back. Exactly. Cows can't turn back, so the cow Cherry, she just stopped. And she opened up her nostrils and let out a deafening moo. Poor Mrs. Fox was so scared that she slipped up and down the pole, and she was hollering. She was trying to get someone to come and help her. She seemed as if she was up there for ages, and everybody was busy catching rabbits and didn't know where the echoes and the noise was coming from. Her yell for help echoed across the valleys and everyone came in. Mother, what you doing up there? Just get her out, she replied, pointing at the cow. Only when they turned the cow around and led her out the house did Mrs. Fox finally return to the ground. She looked so funny perched up there on the pole and everybody was laughing at her. Let's go down to the river and catch some crayfish, said the rabbit man's eldest son to Dorsetto and her husband when all the excitement was over. Don't you think we've had enough catching for one day? Asked Mr. Fox with a wink and a hug with his wife for his wife. The children were happy to help to catch crayfish in the stream at the bottom of the slope. Later, they ate and boiled the crayfish. They drank some fresh creamy milk for lunch, and they had a lovely time helping to pick vegetables and feed the rabbits when Dorsetto's mother, after a quiet chat with Mr. Fox, decided to get a rabbit for each of them. Mr. Fox strapped a hutch to the top of the car, and he was about to wave them goodbye when Mrs. Fox hurried out of the house with a parcel full of hot cake and grated cake that she had made.
share the story with you when Badness left town. Ready again? Quick! Read my back. One day, Badness got dressed and decided to take over the entire world. He looked outside, saw the brilliant sun shining, and felt a calm wind. With a mischievous grin, he said, "Wouldn't it be nice if I were king? Then today is the day when I will take my lot and hold all the children of the world in my hand. As a matter of fact, everyone I shall control, from babies to the very old. I will start by invading the homes and have all the children loving me like ice cream on a pole." So here goes Badness, imagining himself to be king, ready to take over the world. Suddenly children started to misbehave and disobey their parents and teachers. It was pandemonium. Little Johnny, a boy's father, called, "Remember to wear your helmet when you ride your bicycle, and please ride slowly." But Johnny never listened. Badness was on his mind. So he jumped on his bicycle, rode very fast, and fell. He felt pain he could not even spell. Badness laughed. "My work here is just beginning." Badness stopped by his friend Indiscipline, who joined him to take over the world. The next place Badness and Indiscipline showed up was at school. That day, the children decided not to form in the lines as they bumped into each other. They shouted and even cursed, never cared if one got hurt. No one was willing to take turns or to say, "Excuse me." No, they were all rowdy. Everything had turned into Badness's friend, Chaos, who waved at him and bumped his fist. Badness felt powerful, as if he had new life. He felt high as a kite, floating in mid-air. So here's Badness walking with his friend Indiscipline, and they've decided to take over the school. And when the children are behaving badly, he turns into his other friend, Chaos. On the playing field, things got even worse. There were no rules for cricket, netball, or any other game. The children misbehaved, and no one wanted to take the blame. Everyone wanted to bat, no one to field. They all wanted to be first, none to yield. Again, everything turned into chaos. Badness rubbed his hands together and flashed a smile as wide as the Caribbean Sea. He cheered with his friends in discipline and chaos. The school bell rang and some children never returned to class. Many were just not up to the task. Others were late and some climbed over the gate. They pushed each other when they wanted to pass and grabbed whatever they wanted, didn't even ask. Badness laughed and said, "Ha ha ha. This is as easy as drinking water. Prepare, my friends, for much laughter." But two children, Maya and Jelani, knew that what had been happening was wrong, and to challenge Badness, they had to be strong. So they decided to visit the griots. Griots are both young and old people who are keepers of the values. They help people to understand the right ways to live and are very important in every society. People listen to their advice. After all, they are very wise. So the children went up the hills, through the cross path, and across the river, where they met the griots. They welcomed the children and praised them for their courage. So here are the children going in search of the griots. The griots advise, to stand up to Badness is no easy feat, but with the right team, you can hand him defeat. Children, you must find love on your quest, and in her company, you will be with the best. Look deep within your hearts, and love will reveal. Cast out Badness, and the nation will be healed. The griots disappeared as their voices faded in the wind. So here are the griots advising children. Not sure what to make of their instructions, Maya and Jelani looked at each other puzzled. They walked for a while, thinking hard and hoping to find love. They repeated the Greer's advice over and over and over in their minds. Suddenly Maya jumped up with much excitement in her voice. I got it! I got it! Look deep within your hearts and love will reveal. Cast out badness and the nation will be healed. Magically, love appeared. And Jelani asked, but how? And love replied, I've always been with you. It was because you cared for others while you seek me out. It was your desire of not want to see any child fall into badness which has taken you this far. So don't worry, I will help you. So love dialed her friend Respect, who takes discipline. In no time, the children and love were joined by discipline and respect. As they walked together, news of love and the children had reached badness, who said, love is always interfering. I will meet them at the crossroads and end this once and for all. So here's love appearing to the children. By this time, some other children had joined Maya, Jelani, Love, Respect, and Discipline as they marched towards the crossroads and cheered, we want love! We want love in our homes, respect in our schools, and disciplined children. Some children also joined Badness and his friends, who cheered, we want badness! We want badness! When they arrived at the crossroads, a large crowd had gathered for the showdown. Silence! Ordered Lady Justice as she pounded her gavel and peered over the rim of her glasses. Today, this conflict shall be resolved. Love, she called. Yes, ma'am, Love replied. Badness, yes, ma'am. You too must tell us what we should choose, any of you. You shall debate. First up on Badness' team was Chaos, who said, badness, indiscipline, and chaos, that's us. With us, you will have no rules, never have to go to school, chill out all day and play the fool. Do you want to be on my team? Do you want to be on Chaos' team? Then came Discipline from Love's team, who said, love, respect, and discipline. With this team, you do the right things. When passing someone, you say, excuse me please. Form a line, you'll get through with ease. Do you want to be on my team? The children thought for a while. Some looked confused, others smiled. We want to hear more before we make a decision for sure. And I will end it right there because my time is up, but the books are available back there. Thank you.
Okay, can we have another round of applause for those two readers, please? Thank you. And we're going to change the pace a little bit. This time, we're going to move to sports. Anybody in here like sports? All right. And we're going to turn to track and field. Who here knows the name Usain Bolt? You don't know Usain? Why don't say everybody had? There you go. Who knows Asaka Paula? And Veronica Campbell. All right. Well, the next two people who are going to come up are going to tell you why Jamaica is great and all about our fast runners. All right? So what we're going to have Julian Robinson reading from his father's book, Jamaican Athletics, a model for 2012 and beyond. Then we're going to have Carol Beckford reading from her book, Keeping Jamaica's Sport on Track. Can I have a round of applause, please?
Good afternoon. All right, I'm not going to be reading anything today. No. Why? I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to be asking you some questions. And these questions are only for the children. And whoever answers the most questions correctly will get this book. Okay? Yes? Okay. So let me start with an easy question. Who is this on the cover of this book? Alright, that's too easy. Alright, who can tell me how many medals did Usain Bolt win in the Olympic Games? How many medals did Usain Bolt win? 3? You sure it's not 4? 3? Everybody sure about that? All right, that's too easy again. All right. Now this is a real test. Who can tell me what time Usain Bolt ran for the 100 meters? No, you are not allowed. 9.69. Wow, we have some bright people in here. Who can tell me what time he ran for the 200 meters? 19.3. But these questions are too easy. Okay. Now let's test you again. How many gold medals did Jamaica win? How many gold medals did Jamaica win? 6. Wow. Okay. Who can name the persons who won individual gold medals? Individual gold medals. All right, one at a time. Let's go. We know Usain Bolt. Who else? Elaine Walker. Shelley Fraser. Veronica Campbell Brown. Okay. Wow. Everybody is bright and sharp. Now, how many medals did Jamaica win overall? Not just gold, but all the medals that Jamaica won overall. All right, let me have somebody over there. Yes. Huh? No. All right. 11. All right, tell me. Is 10 or 12? Which one? 11, you sure about that? Okay. Can you name those 11 medals? 6 gold, yes? No, hold on, let's go again. We know 6 gold. How many silver? You sure about that? No. You say it. Get up and say it. Excellent. 6 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze medals. But these are all easy questions because everybody can answer them. All right, this one is a little harder now. Okay. For all the countries that competed in track and field, right? There were over 200 countries that competed in the Olympics in track and field. Jamaica got 11 medals, 6 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze medals. Now, who can tell me what place Jamaica would have come for track and field only? Track and field only, with the 6 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze. What place? What? No. All right, now listen carefully. Listen carefully. We're only talking about track and field now. Only track and field, and we got 6 gold, 3 silver, 2 bronze. What place for track and field only did Jamaica come? Yes. No, not 23. No, not 13. No. Anybody over there? Huh? No. No, not 6. All right, well, let me give you the answer. So there were 204 countries that competed in the Olympics. In track and field, for our 11 medals, the 6 gold, 3 bronze, and 2 silver, Jamaica placed third. 1, 2, 3, third. Oh, you said third? Okay, all right, the last question now. And whoever gets the question will get the vote. Name the the two countries that finished ahead of Jamaica for track and USA and? No. USA and? No, for track and field. For track. No, for track and field, it is USA and Russia. But you seem to have got most of the correct questions. So this is your book. What's your name? Okay, this is Patricia McLean from Excelsior Primary. Okay. Congrats. Okay.
Alright, my name is Carol Beckford, and I wrote a book about physical education. So, like my friend Julian, we're going to change, we're not going to read from the book, but the name of my book is Keeping Jamaica's Sport on Track. Can you say the topic with me, please?
Keeping Jamaica's sport on track.
Alright, I'm going to ask you all to stand, parents and children. All of you, stand up please. Mummies and children, everybody stand up. Put down the bags on the seat, please. Alright, take a deep breath, inhale with a sound. I want to hear you, because you just had lunch and you're lazy and everything. Inhale, and let it all out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You don't do these things in PE class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what?
Yes,
Alright, inhale one more time. And exhale. Alright, hands up in the air, stretch. Open your toes. Open your toes, hold it as long as you can. And go down. One more time, up. And down. Clap yourselves. Alright, have a seat. Alright, I have a little poem that I wrote for a TV script that I'm going to read. And Mr. Robinson just spoke to you about our top athletes. Alright? So, physical education is important and it helps you to be able to do well in track and field. Give me some names of some other sports. Swimming. Cricket. Football. Netball. Basketball. Alright, very good. Alright, so listen please. What else? Baseball and rugby. Alright. Boy and bright to the sports thingy, man. Alright, listen carefully. I'm just going to read 3 paragraphs for you. Yes. Muscles taut. You know muscles? You know what muscles are? Alright. Muscles tight. Feet on the track. Racing ahead. Never looking back. Athletes prepare. Competitors beware. The athletes are coming for their fair share. It's your time to rise, your nuggets shine. Successive leaps to victories divine. Ambitious athletes standing upright, their sweat burning in morning light. As you train harder and press for gold, the story of your lives will begin to unfold. Like eager stallions, you run the race. With passion you soar, showing style and grace. No mountain top is too rugged or too high. No obstacle can ever deter your try. So, Jamaica is the ultimate nest, where talent and skill will make you the best. Show dedication and hard work to achieve your goal, as the story of your life as an athlete will begin to unfold. Thank you very much. This is actually for your PE teachers to purchase, because what it does, it gives you a blueprint of how to achieve success at the highest level using physical education as a base. Thank you very much.
Now at this point, anybody can tell me what are these? Steel drum, right. And so we're going to mix it up one more time, and this time we're going to give you some steel pan music from Vaz Prep School. All right? Everybody ready to hear some music? No, let's try that one more time. Everybody ready to hear some music? Yeah! All right, now when you're ready, okay? They'll be ready in a second, all right? And as soon as they go, they'll let you know.
And Miss Lucy next door says,
if I go to church every Sunday, I will grow big and strong. Very good. Miss Jones at my school says, if I read lots of books, I will grow big and strong. And my grandpa in the country says, if I eat my vegetables, I will grow big and strong. Very good. And my granny says, if I give her lots of kisses, I will grow big and strong. That night before bed, I told my mommy what everyone had said. She smiled. They're all right. And see how much you've already grown? When you were 1, you could just about reach to my knee. Let me see you point to your knee. Right. Now let me see. Can you show me where the number 1 is in the picture? Come and find the number 1. That's good. Very good. Good job. Every one of the next set of pictures has a number in it, okay? So you're going to help me to find them. So she said, when you were 1, you could just about reach to my knee. When you were 2, you could just about reach to the middle of my leg. Let me see the middle of your leg. Okay, find the number 2, young man. Good job, well spotted. When you were 3, you could just about reach to the top of my leg. Let me see the top of my leg. And the number 3, I need one person though. I'm going to start calling them. Okay, thank you, good job. I'm going to let my son do number 4. When you were 4, you could just about reach to my hip. Where's your hip? Hands on hips. Very good. Very good, okay. When you were 5, you could just about reach to my waist. Where's your waist? Hands on waist. Very good. You have done one already. Good job. Hidden in a tree. When you were 6, you could just about reach to the bottom of my ribs. Where's the bottom of your ribs? Let me see. Good job. Find the number 6 for me, young man with the green collar. From St. Peter Claver, one of my favorite schools. Thank you. Now that you are 7, come and see just how big you are. Let's find the number 7. Come, sweetheart. You don't want to come? Okay. So let me ask you, what do you think the mommy is going to do to find out how big he is? Measure him. Very good, that's right. Stand against this wall. There, you're that tall. That's pretty big, isn't it, mommy? And these are all the things that he talked about earlier. That's pretty big, isn't it, mommy? And since I can do all the things everyone said, what were some of the things they said he had to do to grow big and strong? Let me hear now. Yes? Eat vegetables. Yes, Reese? Give Granny lots of kisses. Yes? You remember? Play football. No, I didn't. No sleep. That's a good one. Yes? Go to church every Sunday. What was that one? Go to bed early. Yes? I got play football. Any more you can remember? Yes, sir, in the red shirt. Drink lots of milk. Very good. And eat lots of meat. I think you got all of them. That's very good. Mommy nodded and said to her son, soon you will be bigger than me. Oh, what did the teacher say he had to do to grow big and strong? Read lots of books. Very good. The neighbor, they got that. They got that. Go to church every day. And daddy too. And daddy too, I said. Wait and see. See how big his daddy is? You think he's going to be bigger than his daddy? No, you don't think so? You don't think so? Why? I think so. If he eats all his vegetables and does all those things, he will grow big and stronger than his daddy. Thank you very much for listening and for participating.
So now I'm going to read a story called Primrose and River Mama. Now anybody in here can tell me what a River Mama is? Show of hands. A River Mama. Yes, what is a River Mama? Tell the children. Alright, exactly. A River Mama is what we call a mermaid in Jamaica. Alright, so now, here's the story I'm going to tell you. Now remember, I said at the beginning, for you to hear a story, we have to sign a contract. I'm going to read and you're going to listen. So, crick, crick, crick. I'm hearing everybody. Crick. Alright, so now we can start. So one day, Primrose was sent to the shop to buy groceries for her mother. On her way to the shop, she had to cross a river. In the part of the river called Monkey Hole, the water was still very deep. Nobody that Primrose knew had ever found the bottom of Monkey Hole. When Primrose came to the river, she stopped to play. Her mother had told her to hurry, but Primrose loved to make stones skip across the smooth surface of the water. As she wandered up and down the river bank, looking for flat stones to throw, she noticed a beautiful comb lying on the river bank. Primrose had never seen anything so beautiful. She picked up the comb and it sparkled in the sun as the jewels hit the handle. "Little girl," said a voice. Primrose looked up, and there, sitting on a rock, was the most beautiful woman Primrose had ever seen. Guess who it was? Alright, it was the river mama. And you know what she said? Primrose tried to speak, but she could not. She could only think about how beautiful the woman was. "Come, little girl, come. Never mind what your mama tell you. Come, little girl, come," said the river mama, and Primrose followed her. Soon the two of them were in the middle of the river, moving toward Monkey Hole. "Come, little girl, come. Never mind what your mama tell you. Come, little girl, come." And what happened? Primrose continued to follow her, and they went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the river, and the water was rising past her knees and past her waist and up, and they went down, 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 down to the bottom of Monkey Hole. And when they got there, Primrose looked around, and guess what she saw? She saw a beautiful palace. The palace looked like it was made completely of water, but you couldn't see through it. And the woman, she stood in front of the door, and she held out her hand, and she sang, "River mama said you to open. River mama want you to open. River mama need you to open. So what? You better open." And the door flew open, and the river mama pushed Primrose inside, and when she went in there, there were all these other children, and they were dusting and cleaning and sweeping and mopping and doing all of that. Right? I'm going to have to skip the story a little, so let me just brief you. So Primrose stayed in the river mama's palace for quite a while, and she could never leave, right? Because the river mama had them bewitched. Until one day, after cleaning and cleaning the river mama's palace every day. Now, anybody in here likes to clean? Well, I don't like to clean either. So you can imagine if somebody takes you away from your mother and have you at the bottom of a river and you have to clean the place, you would like it? Alright. So you don't you feel right that one day Primrose gets upset and says, "This is enough." Okay, so I'm going to take you to the part of the story where Primrose decides it is enough. So, Primrose decided she would take no more. She would do no more pointless cleaning. When she went back to the room where the children stayed at night, she said, "I'm going to strike." But what? Asked Courtney. He was a very jumpy boy who was more afraid of the river mama than everybody else. "I'm not doing any more work," Primrose said. But the river mama would be mad. What if she beats us? Or worse? "I'm not afraid of her," said Primrose. "Yes, you are," said Rebecca. "We're all afraid of war." So Primrose said, "So, my mother says that sometimes you have to stand up to your fears." Anybody believes Primrose is right? Yes. Sometimes you have to stand up to your fears. So the children argued,
were going to strike. So when the River Mama turned up the next morning, suddenly everybody ended up behind Primrose. So that when the River Mama looked, she was looking straight at Primrose. And she said, "Girl, what is going on here?" At first, Primrose was so frightened she could not speak. Then she thought of her mother and how she must be worried about her. "We're on strike," Primrose told her. "Strike? You can't strike," said the River Mama. "We strike," Primrose said, speaking a little louder. The River Mama began to look very angry. Even her hair seemed to be angry. Her eyes widened and her nostrils flared, and then Primrose realized the River Mama looked very funny when she was angry. And before she could help it, a little laugh escaped her. And guess what happened? The River Mama began to scream because Primrose had found her weakness. The River Mama hated the sound of children's laughter. So Primrose laughed and laughed and laughed. She turned all the tears inside to laughter, and the poor River Mama, she screamed and wriggled in pain. "Please stop," she begged Primrose. "I'll do anything if you stop." "Will you let us go?" said Primrose. Yes, I'll let you go," said the River Mama, "and promise never to steal any more children from our village again." Yes, said the River Mama. And so all the children ran out of the palace and swam up to the top of the river and ran home to their parents, their laughter ringing in the air. The end.
I need one very energetic boy to help me read this story. So the first boy who can run up here is going to help me. Alright, this story is called Little Lion Goes for Gold. Little boys knelt in a row, waiting for the whistles blow. Coach Crackford Pump paced to and fro. On your mark, get set, go! No man, that's too French. On your mark, get set, go! The boys sped off, the race was on. One little boy just would not run. 7 ran with all their might. Little Lion stood stiff with fright. Let me see you stand stiff with fright. Does he look scared? No, let me see somebody look more scared than Nicholas. That's scared. That's scared. Run, Little Lion, cried Coach Claffy. Little Lion's legs felt like jelly. Come on, Little Lion, go, go, go. Little Lion's legs said, no, no, no. All the boys sped down the track. Little Lion was way at the back. Legs were pounding, arms were pumping. Nicholas, get ready. Little Lion was huffing and puffing. Let me see you huff and puff. Why is Little Lion huffing and puffing like that? He mash up, man. He can't run like other people. 7 boys finished fast. Little Lion came in what? Last. He crawled home and said, I'm done. I'm sorry, Papa. I just can't run. Papa said, don't give up so fast. Quitting is worse than coming last. If at first you don't win then, you have to try and try again. Every race is a new test. Always try your very best. Just keep going, never stop. Soon you'll make it to the top. Little Lion went back to school, thinking about Papa's rule. A smile lit up Coach. He tried his hardest in the race, and this time he took 4th place. Little Lion ran race after race. A smile lit up Coach Claffy's face. Little Lion, you're gaining steam. I'm putting you on the track team. Anybody in here on the track team? Nicholas, you're on the track team? Is Nicholas the fastest guy in here? Okay. Little Lion went to bed. Track stars running round his head. I may be the smallest guy, but I'm going to try. He sprinted off to school each day. He ran home the longest way. He ran to and from the store. He ran and ran some more. On Saturday, he went to the track. Get ready, Nicholas. He started off with jumping jacks, push-ups and pull-ups, chin-ups, squats. He skipped. He skipped. He stretched. He jumped. He hopped. His little legs were growing faster. His little body growing stronger. Papa said, "That's it, little lion. You're training like a champion." Left, right, he ran all day, he ran all night. With every step, he sang along, making up a brand new song. Now, y'all have to have very good imagination, but I cannot sing, so just imagine this is singing, right? I'm getting ready for my race. I'm making sure I win first place. Going to the stadium. I'm going to run. Everybody on his lane came out to watch Little Lion train. They sang along to the beat, tapped out by his flying feet. Run, watch Little Lion run. He runs with his heart and soul. We know he'll bring home gold. He's quick like Quarry, bad like Bolt. He's magic like Merlin. Strong as a Salva, fast as Veronica. Best we've ever seen. Before long, the big day had come. There it was. What's this building? What? The stadium. Friends, fans, parents, teachers filled the grandstand and the bleachers. Every school had sent its team, all of them with just one dream, to be the best school in the land, to reign atop the medal stand. Little Lion took his place in the 50-meter race. A tingly thrill tickled his spine as he stepped on the starting line. He felt the magic and the power of all the greats who'd run before. His little legs felt strong and steady. He sighed, he smiled. Let's try that again. He sighed, he smiled, he said, "I'm ready." 8 little boys knelt in a row, waiting for the whistles blow. They called their names one by one. Lane 4, Nick Nylon. Lane 5, Zachariah Zion, also known as Little Lion. On your mark, get set, go! Go! That sounds like a false start to me. On your mark, get set, go! Little Lion flew like an arrow from a bow. Nick Nylon sprinted by his side. Little Lion matched him stride for stride. The sky was blue, the sun was bright. Little Lion ran with all his might. He sped ahead with one last burst, Nicholas. One last burst. Run! And he crossed the finish line in first. Maya Moore and Caleb King led the happy bands cheering. The whole stadium sang along to Little Lion's running song. I worked so hard to win my race. I'm so glad I won first place. I'm here in the stadium. I'm having fun. Run, watch Little Lion run. He ran with his heart and soul. Little Lion won the gold. Read sorry, Nicholas. The end. Thank you very much. I got a big hand for Nicholas.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Good afternoon, boys and girls, and big boys and girls. Good afternoon to you too. Crick crack? Crick? 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 Monkey breaking back on a rotten pomera. I only have one poem for you. And this poem is very much in keeping with the puppet show that you just saw, because this poem is about a little boy named Aya. Who know what the name Aya means? Huh? General? That wasn't Aya. Who know what the word Aya means? Rastafari? Yes, very close. It's a word that is used by Rastafarians, and it's a word that means something like brethren, or your brother or friend. And I always thought it was a really positive word. And then Rita Marley came up with a song called Love Aya. And that kind of cemented it for me. So my little boy, who is a Jamaican boy, do you guys know what a Jamaican is? Very good. Thank you in the red shirt, the Jamaican American. What's your name? Andrew Small is a very smart boy. A Jamaican-American boy, and I figured here's this Jamaican-American boy born in California. How can I give him a name that will help him to identify with the Jamaican side of his culture, right? So I thought the name Aya was a really good name. And names are really important. When names are like labels. When people say something good about you, how do you feel? What if somebody calls you ugly? How does that make you feel? Makes you feel? Shame. Right. And if somebody calls you smart, how does that make you feel? Happy. Really happy. So names are important. Names are labels, right? And so this little boy, Aya, that I have, turns out to be a very, what we call in Jamaica, hard-ears and stubborn boy. Very hard-ears and stubborn boy. But he's still my heart. That's my heart. And so I want to read this poem to say that even when your heart is unstubborn, we're still loving them, right? We're still loving them. So this poem is called Love Aya for my heart is unstubborn boy. My defiant child with the flying red locks, dreadlocks framing a bright round face. So sharp, adult conversations must be coded, triple coded so nothing leaks out to leap back and bite. Quick to make friends, equally adept at flying fisted rage, tears so close by, so close, so close, so close, they brim over like an overfull water drum, even when he wins a fight. Watching you race down the block outstripping older boys, I pray like all mothers, I pray loudly, I pray silently, I pray earnestly, I pray, I pray, I pray for strong, calm winds to guide those winged feet. I love Aya. Let me hear you all say, one love Aya. One love Aya. Thank you very much.
And this collection is, like I was telling the kids earlier, I have some Jamaican kids, which means, of course, you guys know I live in the U.S. And my kids were all born there. My oldest is 17. I have a couple in here that are about children. So it's not really a children's book. And I know this forum has been really for children, but I do have some that are written specifically for my children. The book was really a way of reconnecting with roots. I think the first poem in here is called Roots and another one called Bush Magic. And there are a couple in here about my grandparents. This is my grandmother on the cover, Teresa Matilda Macalla. And I really wrote the book because when I thought about my children and the fact that they don't know these grandparents, and I take them home at least once a year when I can to the country, to St. Catherine, so they can see where I'm from, and take them to St. Anne where their dad is from, so they can see, where they came from, where we came from, who produced them. And I thought about my other cousins who have children, some of whom have never been to Jamaica, and I wondered who will tell them about Mama. That's what we call my grandmother, Mama. She was everybody's Mama. And I thought about her and my grandfather as well, who passed on, and I was wondering who would tell these children the stories about these hard-working Jamaicans who really, it's because of their sacrifices why they end up been born in the diaspora, right? They're born in England, they're born in Canada, they're born in America because of these people who made sacrifices, even just to buy a ship's passage or a plane ticket so their children could go abroad and then have children who would then end up having children who would never come to Jamaica. And so I was thinking about them and I thought, you know, somebody needs to record these stories for them. And these are people who we call in critical circles the ones who are written out of history. You know, the history books are not about these people. They don't make history, but they're important because I know had it not been for my grandmother, I wouldn't have gotten where I was because of the sacrifices she made. And I wanted to leave something behind so that others who came after me would remember her. And it's interesting how she came on the cover because my husband is an artist and we wanted to put portrait of Nanny that he did on the cover and it wouldn't come out. I think my grandmother wanted to be on the cover because the first time I tried, you know, her picture, that came out real quick, got to the publisher, was not a problem. But the one of Nanny, it just, no matter what we did, it wouldn't photograph well, it just wouldn't come out. And so I think that this was supposed to happen because Nanny is an important historical figure, but my grandmother is also a very important historical figure. And I just wanted a record left about her and about how we grew up. But the second half of the book really is about the Caribbean American experience or the struggles that Caribbean people have in America that is not really talked about much at all. And I wanted to record that experience as well for my children and to show the differences between life in Jamaica and life there. So that was mostly why this book was put together, and it's called First Rain and it's published by People Tree Press.
My book is Pumpkin Belly and Other Stories. It's a collection of 5 stories written in, you know, the ethos of the Jamaican folk tale. One of them is actually a traditional folk tale. That's the final one. I've renamed it The Thing with the Tail, right? That's it, The Thing with the Tail. And it's a story that my grandmother had told me when I was growing up, and now I've retold it. And that actually is why I come to writing. I come to writing because my grandmother introduced me to stories. My mother allowed me to read when I was younger. And several years ago, when I wanted a book for my goddaughter, at the time, that was around 10 years ago, I couldn't find a Jamaican story. And so I decided to write one. And I'm just really happy that right now we have so many different Jamaican stories. So this collection is 5. We have Primrose and the River Momo. We have Pumpkin Belly, which goes along the vein of that proverb we have, how water won't go pumpkin belly, where this little boy has to find out exactly that. He's a very curious boy and he finds out about how water gets to the belly of the pumpkin. You have another story called The Guava Tree, about a girl who discovers a magical guava tree under which her navel string was buried when she was a baby. And then the final story is A Glass House for Brother Dog, which is based on the proverb, when dog have money, him take it by cheeks. So pretty much that's Pumpkin Belly and Other Stories. Right?
So I'm Marguerite O'Rain and I'm the author of Free and Laughing, Spiritual Insights in Everyday Moments. And my book was actually developed from my blog. And I understand I'm the first Caribbean writer to get their book from content on their blog, so I'm pretty proud of that. But the real reason I did the book, it was a 90th birthday gift for my mother. She was going to be 90 years old in December 2007, and I couldn't think of what to give her for her birthday, and then it came to me one morning, do the book. So I did this book. I actually got the title, Free and Laughing, from an email that she had sent me where she gave an instance of a particular moment when she was free and laughing, and I said, that's the title. So what it's really about is just some moments that I've had when I've been very present to the moment and seen the moment for what it is, just a moment in time. But I've also gone deeper into a more spiritual meaning about the moment. So I've divided the book into 6 sections. One is called Be Present, and it speaks about times when I'm present to a moment. And then there's Observe. When you're present, you can now observe what's going on around you. There's a whole set on releasing, just releasing the past, releasing any hurts and pain, and also on the flip side, on the importance of accepting. And then the fifth one is about trust. And I write quite a bit of that, and that seems to resonate with a lot of people and has actually helped a lot of people to deal with issues of trust and being trusting. And then there's love, which is really the only power in the world, and just how we love unconditionally, like dogs. I write a lot about my dogs because I just think that dogs are just the greatest thing in terms of unconditional love. And then I end with a chapter on how you can actually practice being free and laughing. Last December, I also did the CD. I recorded some of the chapters, so I have it on CD because I thought it would be great for people to be able to listen to uplifting words while they're driving rather than the bad news that besets us, so that you can get to your destination free and laughing.
I am the author of this book, Raising the Next Barack Obama, a guide on how to develop core principles for success in your child. Basically, this book looks at core principles that the current US president has, such as vision, initiative, persistence, self-confidence. It goes through moments of his life where these qualities are depicted, and I provide activities for parents that they can implement in their day-to-day interaction with their children, so their children too can also have these qualities as part of them. So this book is basically a parenting guide for anyone who wish to see their children have self-confidence, initiative, vision, and attitude of gratitude, and many, many more other strong qualities.
My name is Kelly Magnus, and this is Little Lion. He is the star of a series of children's books about a little Rastafarian boy growing up in Jamaica. And the books are meant to be fun, but also educational, and an attempt to convey some positive traditional Jamaican values. I started writing the Little Lion series because I noticed there was a void in the children's literature market in Jamaica. We didn't have very many titles on the market, and they didn't seem fun and engaging in the way that characters coming out of American television are really engaging for children, and that concerned me because I think that we need to try to excite Jamaican children about our own history and our culture and our identity, and create characters that they can really relate to in a meaningful way.
So where did you get this character from?
He showed up in my head one day and I had to write about it to just put the idea to rest. I really can't. I don't have an explanation for why I picked a boy or why I picked a Rastafarian. I just got a clear image of a little boy growing up in the country in Jamaica with his father.
Yes? Great. Where are you going to?